And we're streaming. Well, the cast of Wheel of Time gets announced, and we're going to possibly get another Doctor Doom movie, and 2 new G.I. Joe movies on the way. All this and more this week in Geek. We get another Doctor Doom movie. They're stumbling through that intro there. I'm like, oh, wow, we're live. Okay. It's happening now.
Yep.
Welcome to the Grizzled Geek podcast, episode 12 for August 15th. It's halfway through August already?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what
pay
day it
attention to
is.
this. Yeah, it's 15.
I work and sleep. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with your weekly wrap-up of nerd news. The geeks are talking about it. We're
Complaining about
We're
it.
going to complain about it. So,
Pretty
is
much.
there a lot to complain about this week?
Yeah, there's a few things.
We got some weird news this week.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta be honest with you. I wasn't expecting some of this
some
stuff.
things I'm super excited about. Some things I'm just like, what are you
Some
what
things
is
I
going on?
was super excited about, and
Yeah.
then, the wind gets taken out of the sails.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, really? Okay, well, I don't know. So what have you been up to, Doug? What have you been doing this week?
Working, playing some Star Wars, The Old Republic. And yeah, that's about it.
Which means, remind me, I had to ask you about this. I actually re-upped for Star Wars Old Republic.
All right, cool.
But I can't find any of the new content.
Oh, it's all on your ship. If you go to your ship, there's the little purple icon. It has all of the new stuff.
I didn't have that purple icon on that little...
Oh.
That's what I want to talk about.
No, we'll have to look at
My
it
game is
afterwards.
glitched.
Yeah.
All right. First up, it's been 6 years since the second G.I. Joe live-action movie.
Which was good.
Which was good.
liked it.
It was definitely lower scale than the first one. It was. I mean, they killed off Duke, which was
Yeah, it
rough.
was really kind of a weird move.
It was a weird move, but they actually got Cobra Commander right.
Yeah.
Now they had Destro right in the first one, but he was barely in that second one.
Yeah.
But what was in there was The Rocket's Roadblock was inspired.
Yep.
I mean,
Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were awesome.
they were awesome. Yeah.
Zartan.
Zartan.
Cool. I
was
love that
yeah.
they keep that origin story.
Yeah.
With Zartan on there. So
That was pretty cool. So yeah, I was pretty excited about it. I mean, they did some weird. I was actually growing up with GI. We grew up with GI Joes.
yeah.
Big into the comics, big into the cartoon, the toys. So when the first movie came out, we were super excited. And then I saw what they did to it. They did some weird moves. Like the cyber suits were kind of weird. And
Yeah. Although
Cobra Commander was kind of
the
messed
more
up.
I think about it, the more if they had been just toned down a little,
Just a little bit.
It's a good idea. The military's working on exoskeletons now, so if you just say like, yeah, this super secret organization has better ones than what they're testing
Someone
out
just
there,
saw Iron Man
that'd be awesome.
he wanted to
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Iron Man suit. But I mean, Baroness was cool and Destro was cool. But finally, we also heard rumors that they're working on a shared universe, Toyverse, Hasbroverse. What do you know what they're calling it?
Yeah, I don't know.
With Micronauts and
Transformers.
Transformers and
Which, to be fair, they were a shared universe in the comics.
they were Transformers and G.I. Joe. As odd as it sounds.
Yeah, as weird as it sounds, they were a shared universe. And even, if you take the movies and you look at those first two or three with Josh Jamal, I actually like the scenes with the humans and the battling along.
You're picturing G.I. Joe with the
just put G.I. Joe into that spot and make them a little more high tech. Could be cool.
And
the Micronauts was never a popular anything
toy,
comic, cartoon.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why you would throw that into the mix.
They own the rights.
Yeah. And maybe they,
Yeah, and it was also exciting after Bumblebee too. After we're seeing where they're going with those movies, right?
Still haven't watched it yet.
Oh man, it's worth it just for the first,
I do want to see
3 minutes of it, the first 3 to 5 minutes
with all the Gen 1
when they're on Cybertron.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is.
Yeah, I need to see it. It's just
It is awesome. What they did with it.
Essentially, if we're not reviewing a movie for the channel, I don't watch many movies. Although I am rewatching Babylon 5 with my wife. That's one thing I did recently.
Nice.
She's never seen it, and I wanted to rewatch it, so I got her in it, and she's liking it. So that's pretty exciting.
Of course, it's Babylon 5.
Yeah,
That's
pretty amazing.
But yeah, now 6 years later, they are announcing not one, but 2 new GI Joe movies. Now,
one is the obvious.
one is obvious. Okay, these are going to be solo GI Joe movies, and when I say solo GI Joe movies, I don't mean that it's just going to be one character and one character only. There will be other Joes, but the story will focus around one Joe in particular.
Yeah.
All right. And the first one, obviously, the most popular Joe ever. Doesn't matter whether it's figure, comics, cartoon, anything. Is Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
The most talkative, the Silent Bob of GI Joe.
The Silent Bob of G.I. Joe. That's a good way to put it. Which means you obviously have to have another Joe to be the mouthpiece, to narrate for the audience and stuff like that.
There's got to be something.
I hope it's Scarlet.
That would be cool.
Because in the comics, that was a cool relationship between those two.
And the movie's going to focus on him joining the clan. You see, infiltrating.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's not back in the past.
Apparently we're not really sure.
All right.
But we do know Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians is going to play Snake Eyes in the movie.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a reboot. We're not sure exactly how they fit in with the old movies, but obviously.
Who is Henry Golding?
Henry Golding?
Can you pull?
I can pull up Henry Golding. Image? We'll take a look here. Boom. Give Doug a good look here. There's Henry Golding.
All right.
He actually kind of looks like the actor who played Storm Shadow in the old G.I. Joe movies.
Well, which is funny because Snake Eyes is a white guy.
Right.
But
he wears a mask the entire time.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
He either has a mask or he's got a messed up face. So
yeah.
It really doesn't matter. Ray Park famously played him in the last 2 movies.
Yeah.
Which, Darth Maul himself.
All right, yeah.
Someone who, physically
had the chops to do all of the action.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess Ray Park's getting a little older now.
Yeah,
but
a little. Yeah.
So I guess they're bringing in a new character. So that's an obvious one, right? The other one is a little weird. And there was I wish I would have had a picture of this one, but Chuckles, the G.I. Joe. Now, Chuckles...
I had to look this guy up. I had no idea who this person was.
He was later on in his late 80s, like right before they switched over to fighting drug dealers. Remember that period of G.I. Joe? And then they went to space after that, and then they were like space fighters. G.I. Joe kind of went off a cliff.
I think I'd stopped at that point. So,
but Chuckles is picture like the 80s Miami Vice look with a flower print button-up shirt and white pants. He's the undercover operative for G.I. Joe, which is wasn't that what Lady Jane was? Or
yeah,
Cover
Girl.
Yeah, Cover Girl was So I guess he's the male version of Cover Girl. So he looks goofy. He's kind of a goofy character, not one you would actually think of having a solo movie. No. He did team up with Shipwreck a lot, so if Shipwreck's in this at all, I'll be happy.
Well, that'd be cool. Because Shipwreck was one of my favorite. He was probably my second favorite Joe.
Yeah.
Just because of the way he appeared in the show.
Shipwreck was awesome.
He was awesome.
But Chuckles, there is a 4-issue run in the comics that has a really awesome story which is what they're adapting the movie for, of where he infiltrates Cobra. So he's undercover operative. He goes in, and you get the whole behind-the-scenes thing, look at Cobra, and it's a really cool 4-issue series in the comics. Still not a great character. The coolness about that was just the whole background of kind of the behind-the-scenes of operation of Cobra.
Right, yeah.
Right. So, we'll see. Now, they just announced these 2 right out of the bat, but they're fast-tracking Snake Eyes for a fall of 2020 release.
Wow. A year to make a movie.
Which,
if it's already written, that's one thing. But if it's not...
Well, here's the thing. Toning it down to just focusing on one Joe lets them, manage the budget, right? So these are going to probably be smaller budget, affairs.
Maybe,
and then they're picking guys like Snake Eyes and Chuckles, so there's not a whole lot of special effects kind of stuff. It's more combat, more martial arts, and, you know what I mean? And gunplay. So... not the big. You don't have to worry about big, giant tanks and dogfights and that kind of thing. So, what do you think of this idea?
I'm super excited about Snake Eyes.
You're gonna see Chuckles. It's gonna be.
I'll
especially if they have Shipwreck in it somewhere.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it'll all sell me with a cool trailer.
Yeah,
but otherwise I'm like literally, I'd never heard of that character. I'm Chuckles. Who the hell is that? I went and looked him up, and I'm like, still not
ringing a bell.
Still not ringing a bell.
Like Don Johnson?
And I read his little, the figures came with a little bio on the back, so I read that, and I was like, this sounds stupid. This guy's horrible.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you'd rather watch one about the firefighter G.I. Joe. Or the other obscure one.
Smoke Jumper or whatever his name
Jumper.
was. I forget what his name was.
Right.
That's a cool name, though.
Yeah, Smoke Jumper is a cool name. Or the hacker guy who carried around the giant... Before they had laptops, he had the giant computer. Mainframe was his name.
Briefcase with
briefcase,
or not a briefcase, like a suitcase.
Suitcase, yeah. So,
all right, well,
2 G.I. Joe movies coming out, guys. G.I. Joe's back, I guess. And like I said, no indication of whether this is going to tie into the Hasbroverse, Toyverse.
yeah, it'd be cool if they had like a cameo of the Rock, the Rock doing the
Yeah,
cameo.
or it's going to have or it's going to involve any of the old G.I. Joes. Whether it's going to tie in with those movies. Recasting Snake Eyes is okay. Like I say, he wears a mask the entire time. You never saw his face. So, yeah.
All right, let's do some Disney updates.
See, that's what we talk about. Disney in their money.
Yep.
That's pretty much.
And there's more of it coming. After Disney gutted former Fox properties, everyone wondered what was happening with the New Mutants. Well, not everyone. I didn't care.
We knew.
Disney was not impressed with the New Mutants and says the project has limited box office potential. So, wow.
Yeah.
Just take a crap on that.
Yeah. It sounds like Disney'd rather take the hit on
Just
that movie.
write it off.
Than bother with trying to spend the money to shoot the reshoots.
Reshoots or anything like that. So,
So if you're hoping, which is sad because it had some of the best casting for Magic and Wolfsbane as you could hope for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I like the New Mutants. Wasn't necessarily sold on because I never saw the run in the comics that they were basing it off the
Oh yeah, the bear.
The bear storyline, whatever it was, the teddy bear. Or, But anyways, yeah. So I like the New Mutants. So I'm hoping they get brought into the.
And the great thing about it is
that
that was part of the Fox universe, so they could take the same actors, cast them in the same characters in a Marvel version of it, because that was inspired casting for Magic and Wolfsbane. So I hope they. I don't know about the rest of the cast; they could have been good. I don't know, but apparently Disney doesn't think so. At least the movie as a whole.
Yeah. All right. Disney's also grappling with how to integrate Deadpool into the MCU. They should see our last episode. Mike had a good idea on that.
Yeah, I mean, they want to. The big debate now is PG-13 versus R, right? And they want to keep the crazy irreverence of Deadpool.
Yeah.
But they want to introduce him into the MCU, which is more serious. Because the comedy of the MCU does not match the slapstick comedy of Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
But having all that in his head, like we were talking about,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I mean, hopefully, take a look at the comics.
Yeah.
Deadpool's own comic is very Deadpool movie.
Yeah, where it gets crazy. Yep.
Deadpool's appearance in other comics, not so much. They just treat him as
a psycho.
Well, yeah, somewhat of a psycho. Well, a psycho on a leash.
Right.
That is badass.
He's funny. You get like Taika Waititi kind of humor with Deadpool in a regular Marvel comic.
They don't do a lot of the fourth wall breaking or any of that kind of stuff when he's in the rest of the Marvel universe. It's mostly in his own book that he does that.
Right.
So there's that. So let him have his own continuous movies. Let him be in an MCU movie as well.
Yeah.
And then he can be self-referential to his appearances in the MCU in his own movie.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, see, that was...
So, and then not in that, not in the...
Take a page from the comics they're inspired from and do it that way.
So. All right, and then last for Disney, well, actually, I guess that was a small story that we were talking about. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that later. But Toy Story 4 becomes the 5th Disney movie to hit $1 billion this year. And they have at least one more that is solidly going to do that, and possibly 2.
Yeah.
So, dang.
5 billion with a B.
Yep.
One of those rocking 2 billion.
And despite the hate for The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker will make $1 billion.
It will make $1 billion.
There is
It's the
next
last-
to no chance that will.
Last of the trilogy of trilogies for Star Wars.
It is almost impossible that it would not make $1 billion.
If you are a Star Wars fan at all, you're going to go see that movie regardless.
Yeah.
You know, just
to see
how it
ends
finishes.
up.
You got to finish it. You grew up with it.
And then if you hate Disney, then we go rewatch Rogue One and give them a break.
Yeah, like okay, well,
Because it's
and go watch Solo because it's a decent movie.
yeah, Solo is I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie too.
Especially for a movie that nobody really asked for.
Beats the hell out of Jedi.
It's way better than Last Jedi. Rogue One is probably the third best Star Wars movie ever, I think.
Wow, edges out one of the original trilogy.
Yeah. I think it's better than Return of the Jedi.
Oh, blasphemy! I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can rate anything higher than the first three.
Yeah, well,
But it goes Empire, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, and then Rogue One. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Disney making all the green.
Yes.
And that's a lot of billions. That's a lot of billions for that company who posted up losses for last quarter. All right, guys. Were you a fan of the Justice League? Well, probably not. If you're watching this show, you're probably like, everyone loves the Justice League. We're super excited about the movie. We got flashes of an awesome Justice League movie buried in a ton of crap.
Yep.
That was our Justice League movie. However, take heart. The part of DC that is doing things correctly, the TV side of it, is going to give us a Justice League. Well, it's going to give us not one, not two, but 3 Justice Leagues in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. So, yeah, the dog's excited about it. So, 3 different Justice Leagues on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, that's amazing. One, probably not going to be the cinematic Justice League. We're not going to see Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Holy cow, would that be cool if they
That would
could?
be, oh my goodness. Like, even if they weren't, like, acting there, just they put a scene from the movie or whatever in the background, something like that, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But what are the Justice Leagues? Probably, and this is speculation because it's highly secret, and I think they're still writing it right now. So, the 3 will be a Kingdom Come version, because we know Kingdom Come is going to be Superman's in there, right? So they're probably his version of the Justice League. An Earth 1 lineup from Flash's world, and then an Earth 38 from Supergirl's world, where they have...
Oh, is Flash's Earth 1?
Yeah, Flash's Earth 1.
Okay.
Yeah, Flash's Earth 1, Supergirl, she's Earth 38. Superman, Supergirl, they're 38. Flash is Earth 1. So, yeah, that's probably what you get. Also, the rumor is that... and this is a big rumor here. I mean, not rumor. Actually, they're trying to integrate this, and they pretty much have permission because it's all part of under the same umbrella. They want to get the Titans from the DC Universe streaming service in there. So probably a cameo, if anything, or maybe 1 or 2 characters. I'm not sure, but it would be. Here's the thing: I don't care what version of these characters are. I don't care that Burt Ward's in this thing, even if he's Robin, right? Because it's Crisis on Infinite Earth, right? It's all possibilities merging in one, and all the universe getting destroyed. So I don't care.
Kingdom Come, Robin.
That's right. Exactly. I don't care which version, any and all versions of these characters in this. The bigger, the better, because they're going all out. I've not heard of this scale for a TV show. I mean, have you? Is this make any kind of? Because you're thinking, you're like, okay, it's TV. Crisis on Infinite Earth is a big story. How big can they get with a TV show?
How long are the crossovers? Are usually just 1 episode from each show?
From each show. So you basically are telling a story over 5 hours. So it's basically a 5-hour movie.
So it'll be on Flash, Arrow,
Supergirl, Legends tomorrow, and this time
Black
Lightning.
Okay.
So
you got 5. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big. Yeah. It's going to be huge. We're going to get Bruce Wayne. We're going to get, I mean, not just Bruce Wayne. Kevin Conroy is Bruce Wayne. The Bruce Wayne. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Man, I'm so excited about this. About this Crisis on Infinite Earth. One of my favorite storylines as a kid. And the fact that there's a writer, Marv Wolfman, is writing it is super exciting.
Yeah.
So everything I hear about this just sounds crazy. It's just going to be a spectacle. I got to see it. So when they promised it last year, I'm like, really? They're going to do Crisis on Infinite Earths? Really?
Yeah.
I'm there.
All right, cool. All right. That sounds like an awesome idea. This does not. Doctor Doom movie script is finished because the idiots over at Fox have a tendency to let's take a bad guy and try and make a movie about him.
Right.
Noah Hawley, who's I think the writer of Legion.
Yeah, he's the showrunner.
Oh, the showrunner.
Yeah,
Okay.
the creator for...
Was rumored to be working on a Doctor Doom solo movie for Fox last year, but no one knew the status since the merger. However, now that the last episode of Legion has aired, Hawley was asked about the project. He says the script is finished and with Marvel. So it's there, it's in their court. He says he hasn't heard back and it is up to him to push for the project now that he is done with Legion.
It sounds like it's just a... This is a soundbite after the last...
I think Kevin Feige is wise enough to tell this guy no.
Right.
There's no way.
Unless it's an amazing script.
I know the MCU is not about villains.
Right.
It's about heroes.
Yeah. Infinity War was about a villain.
Well, okay.
It was a villain movie. But but that's what I'm saying. They would have to do something like that. So if they did a Doctor Doom solo movie, which kind of would have to introduce certain characters,
it would have to come after other characters.
Right. Or it could be him doing stuff in the background and stuff that we know from the Marvel Universe happening, like, right in the background of whatever the story is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see Doctor Doom fight Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I want to see. I want to see,
I'm fine with them bringing Doom into the universe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like...
He's one of the greatest bad guys ever.
I don't like villain-centered movies. I don't like movies that are... The villain is the protagonist.
Right. It's like his Joker movie.
Like the Joker movie.
That's getting Oscar buzz already.
It's
right? I mean, I'm sure...
Horrible idea.
I'm sure it's a great movie. I'm sure Joaquin Phoenix is an awesome psycho.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, right?
He plays a psycho in real life.
He does. So he's good at it. He's got practice. But why make him the Joker? You know? It's like that First Night movie. Remember that First Night movie?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it was actually not a bad movie. It just wasn't King Arthur.
Yeah, it's not a good King Arthur movie.
It's not a good King Arthur movie.
It's a good medieval action movie.
Exactly. Like, if you just took the names out of there and just made them new characters, it would be an awesome movie. But the fact that they made him King Arthur and Lancelot, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just, just brings it down. Making Joaquin Phoenix the Joker as a psycho instead of like a regular, run-of-the-mill psycho. Mm-hmm. You know, especially if you're not going to tie it into the comics. If it's not going to have anything to do with the comics, why do it?
Yeah.
I don't understand. The same with Doctor Doom. If you're not going to have Reed Richards in it, why do Doom? Yeah. I don't know how you could do Doom without Reed Richards because he's integral to who he is.
Yeah, we don't know at this point what the...
Yeah, this is a dead project. Reading this right here, I'm pretty sure that this is never going to see the light of day in this form anyway. There's no Hawley going like, oh yeah, I wrote a script for him. They got it. I better check up on it and see how it's doing. It's Kevin Feige's got it now, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And you're probably not going to do this. That's probably what's going to happen. All right, guys. Those are our main news stories. Now we're going to have a discussion about the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time.
I'm coming in for this.
Okay, yeah.
What's the podcast version of a photobomb? Is it a pod bomb?
The pod bomb. Come on in.
Let me sit down here.
Welcome, Shane. So, all three of us are huge fans of the Wheel of Time series, right? Would it safe to say one of our favorite all-time fantasy series?
It's the best fantasy series ever written.
Yeah. Well, yes, I will go that far. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's my favorite series of all time of any genre.
Even more than Tolkien,
Yep.
More than...
I mean, I love The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm a huge diehard Lord of the Rings fan. I've read it probably 20 times.
Right.
But
better than
The
George
Wheel of
R. R.
Time
Martin.
is still better.
Yeah, Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I just finished book 6 today of my upteenth re-listen of the audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just such an amazing series. And then we found out they're doing a live-action version of it. And I was like, okay, it has potential to screw this up big time, right? Mm-hmm. But they're doing it, if they're going to do it right, they're doing it as a series, right? Which is the only way to tell their story because
it's 14 books.
14
huge books. Yeah.
So, yeah, it is a lot of story to cover. And then I was like, okay, Amazon. I'm not really sure what they're they got a kind of a track record. Then I saw the Boys series recently, and I was like, okay, this kind of quality.
Yeah.
If Amazon can put up this kind of quality of a TV series, I'm excited about it. They cast. We heard they cast Rosamund Pike as Moraine. She looks like Moraine. I like Rosamund Pike. But then the Justice Week they dropped the cast.
I even like Rand.
I even like Rand. Yeah, the guy that's Rand. Yeah. And here's the thing.
Do you have an
I do have a picture of the cast.
All right, so here's the Wheel of Time cast.
So here we go. So that is the Wheel of Time cast. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the book, these are all kids from the same village, right? And one of the things about this village is Rand, the second one in, he stood out because he had red hair, right? He looked different. Blue eyes.
And he was really tall.
Right. So he stood out from the rest of the village.
Yes.
But someone made a decision at this point to cast have a diverse cast of characters for this series.
For the main cast.
For the main cast. Which, now, the series is already culturally diverse. It has a diverse,
and a really uniquely diverse world, because they take all of the kind of the stereotypical, the classic regions around the earth. So you've got like Spain around the the Reconquista time frame, or maybe even the Empire afterwards. You've got Italy, you've got the Chinese, you've got the Japanese, you've got all of these, and then they race swap them. So the people who are in Spain might not be, Mediterranean, swarthy characters.
Like the Arabs are white and redheaded in this, or that kind of, or the desert. No,
well, I would call them Native Americans.
No, actually, they're
essentially Native Americans.
But that's what Jordan did. Is he took cultures and smashed them together, and added a race to that.
Right. Exactly, and it's. So we're really excited about that because you're going to see this is a chance to have a big culturally diverse cast and like that. Yeah. All of them except for the main characters, because the main characters were
they're all from the same village.
All from the same village.
They all look somewhat alike. They all have dark hair, dark eyes, and are of relatively
short
average build.
Yeah.
Right.
Average stature. They're like
short to average. Yeah.
They mid to upper 5 feet.
They're called stocky, and some of the men were called stocky for the village. But
Perrin's supposedly almost as wide as he is tall, and goofy stuff like that.
Right.
Hyperbole there.
Yeah.
And then Rand stands out because he's tall and redhead.
And thin. Comparatively.
Comparatively thin.
He's still well built because he's a farmer, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
The problem you run into with a cast like this is that now, how does he stand out? They're all different.
Yeah.
You've got somebody who's white, somebody who's black, somebody who's half Aboriginal.
Yeah.
How does one person stand out from that? And there be a question about, and a question in the character's mind of, do I belong here? Are the bad guys telling me the truth when they say that I'm not really from here, and stuff like that? That adds to the psychosis of the character, which now does not make any sense.
Yeah.
And the fact is the region that they're from has been relatively isolated for 2,000 years in the book.
Yeah.
In 2,000 years, I don't care how big your village is, you're going to have some intermarriage, and everybody's going to look the same. Which is why he looks different and why it's such a big deal.
Yeah. Right. Because there's a question of his parentage that comes up in part of the story of the books. And you made a good point about the people of this village, right, or this area, right? Part of their identity is later on in the series when everything starts going on, they actually take in refugees. They're actually ones that are not as, nationally oriented as a lot of the...
there's parts later in the story to not give away too much of the story if you're not familiar with it. But you always hear throughout the series how down to earth these people are, how good they are. People who are kind of curmudgeonly or whatever are the outcasts in this village. So when people from the outside come in, they're like, "Ooh, you're outsiders. You're weird. You're different." But when push comes to shove, they're like, "Yeah, but we'll help you."
Yeah, they take in all the
refugees. And now it's like, because we're all different.
Yeah.
It takes away from that element when you're already a diverse society. When other diversity comes in, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is a pretty subtle message that who knows, they might not even get that far.
Right.
They might be, like you said, only doing the first 3 books.
Right. Which
that's
you could do a whole series.
It is a pretty
Of those
cut
first
and
3
dry.
books.
It is not a complete story, but a fairly complete story.
You could write an ending for it.
Yeah, you could write an ending and go, look, it's a complete story. Boom.
Right.
And it doesn't commit you to 14 years on a project, 14 seasons of a project, which they may not be willing to do.
I think the biggest issue with this is it's diversity forced into a series that was already diverse. The world is a matriarchy. Everywhere in the world is run by women except for a few places, and those places are the exception, and it's noted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The papacy, if you will, is run by women.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not your typical white European fantasy tale.
No.
You know, this is a very, like I said, very diverse.
It starts out
Culturally
that way
diverse.
to ease the readers into it because it's familiar, and then it immediately veers off from there.
Yeah. Once you pull the lens away from the small village and see the rest of the world,
Right.
You know, you realize.
I mean, and you do in the first book, the first place you go is essentially England.
Yeah.
With a queen, Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth kind of figure. So it's the standard, like, oh, okay, this is normal.
Right.
But then you go far up north to guys who are not entirely, they might be Mongol or you're not real sure, but they're
definitely Asian.
They're Asian-ish.
Yeah.
Well, that's only one of the northern nations because, like the other ones described, their features are more Arabic.
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird. Yeah, but so you start at that point, mixing up, going, oh, this is different. They wear Japanese style helms, feudal Japanese style helms, and they've got the kind of that warrior tradition and stuff.
Right.
So you're kind of like, oh,
the most famous blade is kind of a katana looking kind of curved, slightly curved blade. Yeah, they mix up a whole lot of these diverse cultures in here. So it just seems weird. Like it would make more sense. Like if Matt was black as well, if we're gonna have 3 black people in the village. At least then it'd all be same. Rand be the outlier. But then it's like, well, Rand. There's no mystery about
totally. Then it's obvious that he's not from that.
Yeah.
But the point here's the thing is, this reeks of, and I don't, it reeks of somebody who has no idea about the story, mandating that the main cast be diverse.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of being diverse, not because it plays into the story at all.
Right.
Because you literally, if you read the story, read the books, literally almost every other character who appears in the stories could be whatever you wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Gender is usually pretty important because women...
It's a matriarchy.
Women are the only ones who wield magic safely, and they've got a ton of power, so that's super important. So you really shouldn't be gender bending anybody in these stories. But as far as race goes, switch them up as much as you want. It doesn't matter.
And there are a ton of cool characters. Except for the main 4.
Yeah. There should be homogeneity because that's part of the story.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's just, whenever it's like forced like this, it doesn't make it. I mean, I don't know. It's like when they do this in comics, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a big hot topic issue here where a lot of people are like, they've changed the race of this character or whatever for just random reason. You can tell when it's pandering and when it's done right. Yeah. You could tell. And when it's done right, it's a good story, and it makes sense, and then you can tell the ones that are not. This feels like pandering to me.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't,
because it doesn't make any sense from the story.
Right.
It makes no sense for the story for these people to all be this different.
Yeah.
Now Rand is supposed to be different, so if the rest of them, in the books, they're like you said, they're dark, they're darker of hair and eye, and he is lighter skinned than they are. So if they were Spanish or Mediterranean, that would make sense.
Greek, Arabic, it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
But they still need to be light enough skin that he could conceivably be birthed to a parents from this region.
Right. Yeah.
But he's not. He's really going to wander through his life thinking that his dad was black.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, this is a cat.
Steve Martin already did that movie. It's called The Jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good movie though.
Yes, great movie. But yeah,
Yeah. So I guess we kind of gone on a little rant here, but that's it just seems like just a mandate for no reason that now they have to write around this change.
Yeah, it actively harms the story. You know, generally speaking, I don't care if it doesn't impact the story and it's not a central characteristic of the character. I don't care if you change the race. I usually don't even care if they change the gender, but in this case, it actually harms the story. I mean, we were talking about Spider-Man, MJ.
Yeah.
You know, when you change that character from Mary Jane to Michelle, it's a totally different character, and she's an awesome character. I don't care that she's black.
Right. They have great chemistry together. That's an awesome...
It's a fine character change. This, on the other hand, affects the story.
Now, what's Michelle's middle? I haven't seen this Far From Home yet. So, what's her middle name?
I don't know.
Is there a reason why people would call her MJ other than
her initials are...
other than them cueing in that this is supposed to be Mary Jane?
Right, her initials are MJ.
Okay.
So they just call her by her initials. So...
Yeah, and I don't know that they ever, because it was
Michelle Jean.
She's just Michelle for most of it.
For the first movie.
Most of the first movie, and then she, then
and
she says, "My friends call me MJ."
I wasn't sold on the character in the first movie, but she wasn't a major part of it.
No, yeah, she
but
was
then the
just
second movie, I was like, okay.
I kind of liked her snarkiness.
Yeah,
it was
she was
just
funny.
kind of a side, snarky character in the background.
But you got a lot more of their chemistry together in the second movie, which was awesome. So,
anyways,
yeah,
total aside.
It's back to the wheel time.
But that's a change of race that worked out fine. That didn't, it did not impact the story. You didn't have to write around that fact.
Right.
It just was. It's just like, cool. All right.
This is a change that they have to change the story for.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of,
If they don't, it's just going to be weird.
Or if they don't, if they just...
they're going to have to ignore certain elements of the story.
That's true.
To do that.
And those are elements that are integral to the development of Rand's character.
Yeah. I believe.
I think so too, yeah.
And
which is hard to explain without spoiling anything in the story-wise, but... Yeah.
If you haven't read The Wheel of Time, definitely go out and do so. It is amazing. It
is an amazing series. If you're thinking George R. R. Martin is the pinnacle of fantasy writing, go check out Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will be disabused quickly.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess that's it for our rant on the Wheel of Time. I'm probably still going to watch this just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part is they got Perrin. The guy that got to play Perrin looks like Perrin. He's just black.
Yeah. And Matt, I was able to pick out without Mike telling me. I'm like, well, that's if I had to use these people, this would be this character, and I nailed them all. But
and it's like I even looked up like how tall is the guy who plays Rand, and he's 6'2", which is close enough.
Yeah.
Perrin, in my opinion, is just going to have to put on a lot of muscle.
Yeah, he's got to bulk up.
And I think the casting of Matt is
spot on.
Spot on. Yeah, that was inspired casting. I hope he can act to go with those because he looks perfect. Now, hopefully, he's got the acting chops to go with it.
Yep, he's even got the chin.
I mean, he is my least favorite of the boys,
which is odd because he tends to be the most popular character out of the three.
My favorite character.
Yeah.
I just...
my favorite's Perrin, but...
We know why Mike doesn't like him. So.
Yeah.
why Doug doesn't like him.
What?
He's a Rand. Doug, you're a Rand guy.
I am a fan of Rand. I just don't... Matt bothers me because he never changes. He doesn't grow up.
True.
Even at the very end, he's being forced to do things. He doesn't grow up, and he never changes. The others all grow into the positions they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
He still looks at everything as a joke.
That's true.
Even at the
very end. Part of his charm, though.
Yeah.
This roguish
Which
charm.
is fine, and he's cool for the first 4 or 5 books like that.
Yeah.
But then when nothing changes and he keeps making the same stupid decisions and making the same stupid assumptions and treating things like a joke over and over, and you're just like, all right, I'm tired of it now. Come on. Change, grow.
Do something.
You see it underneath. It's happening, but he never acknowledges it and never brings it to the fore.
It's because he's too stubborn to admit he's changed.
He's too stubborn to admit that he's changed. Yeah.
It's just...
I will not. That was my pod bomb.
There you go.
Had to get in here for the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
If there's one person that loves Wheel of Time more than us, I'd probably Shane. He's read it more than any of us have. All right. You know, you can chime off down below what you think of the casting if you're a Wheel of Time fan.
Yeah.
Moving on to our smaller stories, our Nerd Nuggets. And I still keep forgetting to put the Nerd Nugget icon in here.
Oh,
I know.
Too bad.
Upsetting. Well, it's finally happened, folks. Finally. After,
50 years.
50 years, the Thing has beaten the Hulk fair and square. There was always a big debate. Thing versus Hulk. Not really much of a debate. It's a debate for people who didn't know the characters, who never
Yeah.
read these comics, because the Thing has never beaten the Hulk. Even when the Thing was super strong, much stronger, and the Hulk was a lot weaker, the Hulk outsmarted him as the Great Hulk.
Yeah.
It's been a one-sided battle for pretty much the entire comics career. Well, in Fantastic Four number 13 that came out, the Thing finally beats the Hulk, and it took, apparently the Puppet Master was mind controlling the Hulk, and it was to save Alicia Masterson, and she spurred him on. Hulk pretty much had his way with the Thing for most of the issue, but he summoned all his strength into one massive punch to knock the Hulk out. A punch so massive, it put the Thing in a coma for a week and shattered all the rocks off his arm. He woke up a week later with a vibranium cast on. Like, the picture's awesome because he's punching the Hulk, he's just shockwave ripping the Hulk, and then all the rocks flying off his arm.
All right. Interesting.
So that's what it took to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not saying in like a battle to the death that would go down that way with the Hulk's healing factor and everything else involved.
Yeah.
Hulk is clearly stronger than the Thing, but he did some of the strength. He pulled something heroic. Hulk was being mind controlled, and he put him down at a high cost.
Yeah, that's fun.
But something to be noted. We had to bring it up here because it just hasn't happened.
Yeah. All right. I'm curious as to the origin of this, but we might get the Fantastic Four and X-Men logos at D23. Who's reporting this?
The same guy who's been pretty accurate so far on Marvel updates. I think there's a Marvel Insider that's going to that's bringing stuff out, like all the information we got about the Disney Plus shows and stuff like that hit before Comic-Con. They come from the same source, so pretty reputable source. Sounds like
I really wish I could go to the D23. Sounds so awesome.
I know we're super excited about the logos. We're like, the logos.
There's a lot going to be going on at D23 that could be very cool. It'll probably be more interesting to go in 2 years because you probably get a lot more. This is probably going to be a fairly light year, but still.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Those they don't put the 4 in the Fantastic Four, the Fan 4 stick. That was a horrible logo idea for a horrible movie. All right, so She-Hulk is a Marvel character that has not been on the big screen or the small screen yet. Oh, they did a pilot movie with Brigitte Nielsen back in the 80s as She-Hulk. Never aired.
Yeah.
But if you Google, you can get pictures of what Brigitte Nielsen looked like as She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. Glad it never came out. But she's a fan favorite character that we've yet to see. But
she was Deadpool before Deadpool was Deadpool.
She was fourth wall breaking. She had her own. But she is rumored to be coming out soon. Marvel is looking for a way to bring her out. Now, it won't be in a solo movie, obviously. One, because I don't think you could really carry a solo movie with just her. And two, because solo rights for her movie are wrapped up with Universal, same as the Hulk's.
Okay.
It's part of the Hulk property, so they couldn't do. But they can use all they want and then something else. So the big rumor is that they're planning to introduce her in Spider-Man 3.
As the She-Hulk or as Jennifer?
We're not sure because
what's her last name?
Walters.
Okay.
She's Bruce Banner's cousin.
Right.
Through a blood infusion from Bruce Banner to save her life, she becomes the She-Hulk, who's basically like Professor Hulk. She's big and green, has all the strength, but has her own intelligence.
Yeah.
So Professor Hulk from Endgame, that's what you picture for just a big buff green chick.
Yeah.
But she's also a lawyer, and that's where the rumor is. The rumor is that she's going to be representing Peter to kind of clear his name after the spoiler mid-credit scene from Far From Home.
Yeah.
So not sure whether it could be just a cameo as his lawyer named Jen Walters, and not the She-Hulk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could see that happening more likely than actually full-blown She-Hulk. Although full-blown She-Hulk would be awesome. They have to have full-blown She-Hulk somewhere, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah, because she's been on the Fantastic Four. She's been an Avenger. You know, she's just she's a major character in the comic universe. You know.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and our final story: Kevin Hart signs on to star and produce a new superhero comedy from STX Films?
Yeah,
called Night Wolf.
So apparently the story on this one is kind of like it was like what's the series, Ben Stiller Meet the Fockers or something like that.
Oh,
where the father of his fiance is a superhero named Night Wolf. So that's where the comedy's going to be. He's not actually playing.
He's not the
Night Wolf.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, his future father-in-law is playing is the Night Wolf. So
interesting.
I love Kevin Hart. So
yeah,
and I love superheroes. So boom, that's a done deal. Check that one off. The only thing would be make it cooler if The Rock was in it somehow.
Yeah. Those two together are hilarious.
Yeah, just because they're so physically different. So, okay, are those two even the same species? It's like little Kevin Hart and a giant rock.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That pretty much does it for this week. I know it's a short week.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, our rant didn't go as long as I thought it would. So,
well, you know.
There wasn't a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah.
This is what we think.
There's a lot you could say that diverged way off of the main topic. But,
yeah. But there you go. So far, what series are you most looking forward to coming out? Right? I mean, this was one of the top ones. Wheel of Time. I'm still want to see it, but
yeah, Mandalorian
is probably the number one for all of us. Yeah. So if you take that out of the equation, you're not a big Witcher fan, but that series looks cool.
I've never played the game, so
yeah. But you got to admit that looks cool though.
Yeah,
Witcher looks cool. I'm excited about that. I'm excited. Wheel of Time or the Lord of the Rings series. It's also another Amazon one.
That could be cool. I like that time period, so that could be awesome.
These are all.
I am looking forward to season 7 of the Clone Wars as well.
Oh yeah, yes.
I think it's going to be abbreviated, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's a lot left on the table.
Oh, and Picard.
Oh, and
Holy
Picard.
crap, Picard.
Yeah, Picard.
When does it? That starts soon, right? This month.
Is it this month?
I thought it was an August release.
Oh my goodness.
I don't look it up real quick. We've got time.
That's right. True. Hold, please.
But yeah, I mean, the first trailer, I was like, and just the idea, I'm like, Picard series, really? Come on. I mean, I like Picard, but how is he gonna carry a series? And that first trailer kind of played right into that. I was like, all right. But then the second one, I was just like, okay, I'm in.
Early 2020, so next year.
All right.
Next year.
For some reason, I thought it was starting this month.
Nope.
Is there maybe something else coming out from it?
Discovery's new season's coming out soon.
Oh no, I meant maybe there's another trailer.
Probably a trailer for it.
This month or something. I don't know, but yeah.
I wasn't excited until I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh my goodness. Although, did you see that image that Dan put up there with it's got an old Buck Rogers picture where he's leaning down next to was it Squiggy or whatever the robot Twiggy, and it has Data's head on Twiggy and Picard's face on on Buck Rogers.
Okay.
And in the picture, it was just so ridiculous that I'm like, okay, you just ruined Picard for me. I can't look at him anymore. But yeah, it was. I'm excited about that series. I think everyone's jockeying for the next Game of Thrones now that Game of Thrones is done, including Game of Thrones, because we just got our first picture of Game of Thrones, like.
The prequel thing.
Naomi Watts as. Well, we don't know what she's playing. It's so secretive. We don't know what's in it. But it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that. The way it ended, I was like, okay, well. Depends on what's happened to Perrin. What happened to Perrin?
What happened to Perrin?
I don't know, man. You got he's Perrin. He's just Black Perrin. So there we go. Weird. But thanks for joining us, Ben. We missed you, man.
Yeah. It's a way to show up right as we're getting ready to log off.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening, watching. If you're listening on Stitcher or iTunes or anywhere else you get your, well, there's those two places to get your podcast from. It'll be up Saturday there. If you want to see our faces and listening to us, it's also up on our YouTube channel. For those of you watching on our YouTube channel, please like, share. If you like what you saw, you want to see more, subscribe, obviously.
Yep.
Hit that bell icon or whatever. How many times you have to hit that bell now? I think got to ring it like 5 times or whatever to get.
Nah, just when you click it, there's 3 options. Just click the one that's all notifications.
Right.
I don't know why anybody would want some notifications.
Yeah. Tell me about my favorite show sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
you pick out the ones you think I'll
every
like.
once in a while.
Yeah. Every once in a while, show me something. But yeah, and if you want to support the show and the things that we do here, Doug, how can they help us out?
Well, hopefully Mike's going to put up 3 links in the description once this goes from live to on YouTube.
Yes.
As just a normal replay.
I'm training James to do that now.
So. Oh, good. All right. Well, we'll have 3 links. One is to our Teespring store. Second one's to our Amazon affiliate link. If you do your shopping through there, we get a kickback. And the third is our Patreon.
Yep. And if you don't see those links down below, they're in the description of any of our videos.
Yeah.
Other than the one you're checking on, it doesn't have it right now. I just realized I'm like, it's in any of them except for this one. We didn't have it on there. Yeah. All right, guys, we'll be back again next week, but the week after that and going forward through the rest of the year, we're probably going to switch days on our podcast.
It may or may not be live. We're not sure yet.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be live. Most of the time it'll be live, but we're looking at Sundays now to do this. Maybe a little earlier for them, you guys, because people got work. So for our East Coast viewers, so maybe a little bit earlier on Sunday afternoon when we do the podcast. It's the busy season at work for me, and I'm going to be working late hours during the week. I probably won't be able to make it home in time to podcast on Thursdays, which is a bummer. But hey, the insurance business.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. And was it? Oh, yeah. Ben misses us too.
Yeah. I saw it.
Thanks, Ben. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And playing us out, as always, is our local folk punk hero, Andy Warpigs. I'm not even sure what song it is. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.